Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk start collecting Conquest, the last argument of kings, and today we're going to take a look at the Spires, and in particular the one player starter set for the faction and how we can use this particular box set to start an army for them in the game. Now in this video we're going to go through, take a look at all the models that come inside the box set, including taking a look at the different options that we can build out of said units and kits, and then take a look at what they all do on the tabletop. We'll then look at some other units we can use to expand upon this initial purchase before finally finishing off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own army for Conquest, the last argument of kings using the Spires. And so, to start with, we get a medium infantry character in this box set called the High Clone Executor. Now, he has a couple of cool rules. He's got flawless strikes, where when he performs a clash or duel action, all hit rolls over 1 count the target's defense as 0, which is really nice. And on top of that, he has Cleave 1 as well. 5 attacks, 4 wounds, defense 2, and clash 3 base is all really nice. His Supremacy ability, Coordinated Assault, allows you once per battle during your first draw command card step of this round, draw and resolve the first 3 command cards of your command stack as one draw. Instead of drawing 1 command card, you draw 3 command cards, resolving the actions of each regiment, fully resolving each command card before moving on to the next. This is just insanely powerful. Like a once per game ability to do this massive thing. This can bring units back from the dead. This can be used to wipe out enemy units. It can be super powerful if you plan this all right. Now, we then have a couple of units to go with him. First of all, we have 6 stands of our basic troop for the army, which is the Force-Grown Drones. They're a light infantry unit we have available to us. 3 attacks per stand with 4 wounds. They've got shields, which is nice, putting them up to defense 2 in their front arcs. Unstoppable, purposefully mindless as well. When a character stand is attached to a regiment, the regiment will always use the highest resolve characteristic in the regiment, including modifiers, even when broken. So, you know, your characters definitely boost them. And they've got support too as well, as they're equipped with Spires. Now, if we're looking at the other units, we've got Marksman Drones, which provide us with some shooting power for the army. Marksman Clones are a medium infantry unit, barrage 5 per stand with 22-inch range, and the arcing fire rule is really well, where they can ignore line of sight rules and restrictions and simply shoot over everything. Now, we then also have 3 stands of either Vanguard Clones or Vanguard Clone Infiltrators. Now, Vanguard Clones are the cheaper option. They are 160 for 3 stands, 6 attacks, shields, and the Vanguard rule. Vanguard is nice when the regiment enters the battlefield for the first time. They can get a bonus at free march, which is nice. And then you have the other unit, which are the Infiltrators. They're a light infantry unit. They've also got Vanguard and Fluid Formation, meaning they can get 1 free reform a turn. Barrel 6, range 14-inch, rapid volley shooting attacks as well is really nice for them, with that volley of 3 as well, which isn't too shabby at all. Also, we would like to thank Parabellum for sponsoring the channel with Conquest, the Last Argument of Kings and Conquest First Blood. If you'd like to help the channel, you can do so by supporting us by going and using our affiliate code to get 10% off your orders on the Parabellum e-store. The code here on the screen will get you the said discount, CFGCONQ5. Go and get yourself 10% off and help the channel continue to make more and more Conquest content. Now, if we're looking at where to go next, definitely when you start adding to these box sets, I think the first place to look is adding a second character into your force. This will give you, some options to play around with, give you, another warband to start exploring. And for me, the Biomancer is where to look. This guy is amazing and will really benefit so many units in your army, but none more than those Force-Grown Drones, which you can just bring back at an amazing rate. His draw event, Biotic Renewal, will allow you to roll a d6 and heal a number of wounds equal to the result. If the regiment affected is not infantry, you reduce the healing value to d3, however. And he's also got a special rule called Mend Flesh, where he can simply target friendly regiment within 8 inches of this character stand, heals for 2 wounds. A regiment cannot heal as a result of Mend Flesh more than once per round, however. And then he's got his own Supremacy ability, where it's called Provoke Instability. Till the end of the round, we're performing a clash action with a friendly regiment. If it's an infantry, all stands gain +2 to their attacks. However, they suffer decay 3. If it's cavalry or brute, all stands gain +3 but get decay 3. And monsters gain +4 but gain decay 6. So he can effectively supercharge your units, but they do spend themselves in doing this. Now, he's got a couple of different Biomancers. First of all, Unstable Enhancement, where you draw your next command card. If the regiment within 12 inches of the character stand, it acts immediately, and +2 to its march, +1 to its clash and volley as well. And he's got Harvest Essence, where he can effectively take other units' essence and put it where he wants it to be, which is really cool. Catalytic Rupture is target-friendly regiment within 12 inches of the character stand, suffers D6 +1 hits. And Grant Virulence. Virulence is a target-friendly regiment within 12 inch. The regiment gains Deadly Blades or Deadly Shot rule until the end of the round, and the character stand then proceeds with the rest of its activation. And Essence Transfer as well, where draw your next command card. If the regiment within 12 inches of the character, you can exchange the command card at the bottom of the command stack with this regiment's command card. This regiment will then act. So he's got a lot to bring to the table for you. He is just such a great power piece to add into the force. Speaking of power, though, we have Brute Drones to talk about. These are a medium Brute unit. They've got the Oblivious rule, where they have to suffer 2 failed morale tests to take a wound from a failed test. Impact 3 in there, Unstoppable, and Flurry for rerolls to hit on 5 attacks at Clash 2 is pretty nice. But even bigger than that, we have the Abomination. This is a heavy monster with Cleave 1, Flurry for rerolls on 10 attacks, which is awesome. Impact 5 and Terrifying 1. This thing is an absolute ripper. It is definitely a bit of a glass cannon, but this thing can do incredible damage. Now, the last unit I want to talk about is actually a unit upgrade you can grab for your Force-Grown Drones. This is called a Catabolic Node. Now, what these are, effectively, they are little bomb units inside your units, and they can do a ton of damage. They do more damage to your opponent, they do some to you. This can be mitigated by the fact of taking the Biomancer. And so here we have our sample army list for you. Now, obviously, we've gone with the High Clone Executor. He's going to be our general for the Force, and he's gone with one of the mutations, which is going to be called Ablative Flesh. What this one does is the character stand will ignore the first wound allocated to it in each dual action. He's a really good little duelist character. This can be nice to help him out a little. His Warband will then be of his 3 stands of Vanguard clones, Marksman clones, 3 of the Force-Grown Drones, and 3 Brute Drones in there as well. Bringing into the Force on top of him, though, we have a Biomancer, which will have Cloned Redundancy. I really love Cloned Redundancy. What this does is once per battle, when this character stand is removed as a casualty, you can remove another friendly character stand from the battlefield and return this character stand to the battlefield in its place with as many wounds as the character stand that it was being removed. So he can potentially, switch over to where the High Clone Executor is. It, is not always going to be the choice you want to make, but the fact he can start bringing back your troops, if the High Clone Executor has sort of done his fights, if he's not got anyone to fight, I think, and you're trying to sort of hold on, you can sort of make this switch around when you want to. Now, he's then got 3 Force-Grown Drones and an Abomination in there, rounding out the Force. If you've got some ideas on how you like running your Spires, what you've been doing with them, or what you would do with this box set, I'd love to hear them down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to come chat more with me and chat more with our wonderful little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description. Also, linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, either by Patreon or YouTube members, or by going and grabbing yourself some channel merch, either by Teespring or by Ko-fi. Now, if you'd like to join any of those, once again, all down in the video's description, but as a special thank you, we'd like to give a shout out to all our Patreon and YouTube members. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, The Rising 8, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cader, Benjamin Swallows, Red Marn, Iron Grinch, Nicholas Conomos, Colorblind Magic, and our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lockloric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Wire, James South, and James Tillman. Lastly, a special thank you to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing channel artwork, and to everyone who helps by coming on the channel, whether to play games, or to those who run our Discord server as the mods, or just make it a general lovely place to be. Thank you all so much for watching once again. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.